everyone, welcome to the very first video on this channel. My name is Asan and I'm here today to help any of you figure out where you need to go in life, what you want to do and how you're going to do it. Now, a quick disclaimer, I know the title of the video says for 30-year-olds, but the truth is this is for anyone that feels lost, no matter how old you are, whether you're in your teens or obviously your late 50s and 60s. There's something in this video that can help everyone. Before I start the video, if you could hit the like button and subscribe, that would mean the world to me. As I said, this is the very first video, the first time I'm putting myself out there with content like this, and hopefully some of you or many of you can gain some value from it. My first piece of advice I would give anyone is to start making a list of potential things that you want to do. Whether that's potential jobs you want to do or whether that's potential hustles you want to get into. And why this will help is because it will help you narrow down exactly what you might want to do, what you might want to just keep as a hobby, what you might want to do full time, what you might want to do on the side. This will help you have a better sense of direction. So if you can list down, let's say 50 of the top things you've ever wanted to do in your life, no matter how ridiculous it sounds, write it down, the top 50, and then start going through the list and start crossing out the things that really aren't that realistic. So for example, if you want to be an astronaut, as an example, is that very realistic at the age you are right now? If it is, then keep it on the list. If it's not, then move along to the next thing on the list. One of the things I like to make people understand and help them understand that you have to be realistic. And that doesn't mean if you want to be the next Beyonce at 50 you can't do it. That's not the type of reality I'm talking about. The type of reality I'm talking about is if you want to be an astronaut, you have to have done a certain amount of things to get there. So what I mean by it's not realistic right now, but it doesn't mean you can't get there eventually. So you need to make a list of how realistic it is. Manage your expectations is what I'm trying to say. The second piece of advice I would give anyone out there is to avoid social media at all costs. And why I say this is because on social media, as I mentioned in the introduction of this video, you've got a lot of people on there spouting things that they don't really understand, talking about the hustler lifestyle, the hustler mentality. And yes, you have real people on there like Gary Vee who talks about the hustle lifestyle. Whether I agree with it or not is not the main point, but the main point is that he has achieved certain goals and aspirations. So if you were to go down the route that he's giving you advice about, that's probably going to be okay because he has evidence to back it up. But a lot of these 20, 21, 22-year-old entrepreneurs that are spouting that hustle culture and telling you to do certain things on social media to get rich quick, it's probably not going to get you there very quickly, and it's not going to be very practical either. So you need to make sure whatever you're doing it for yourself. You're not following someone on social media to get there. Another reason to avoid social media is it's a waste of time. If you're not on there promoting your business, if you're not on there seeking to learn something practical for your goals, then it's just a waste of time. And I would avoid it at all costs. Advice number 3 is do not compare yourself to other people. Where you are right now and where the person you look up to is right now has no correlation. You have to figure out your own timeline. You have to figure out what you need to do to get there. You need to figure out what hurdles you have to go over to get to where you need to be. Michael Jordan had his list of hurdles. You have your list of hurdles and aspirations and goals that you need to achieve. Advice number 4 is optimizing your time. What I mean about this is whenever you have free time, try and invest that into your hustle. Try and invest that into what you want to be. And the reason I say that is because we only get 24 hours in a day. If you're working 8 of those and sleeping 8 of those, that is 16 hours that are gone. You only have 6 more hours to play around with. And then those 6 hours, what are you doing? Are you scrolling through social media? Are you gaming for no reason? Are you wasting time doing nothing, dwelling on what your life could be? Or are you using those 6 hours productively? And one piece of advice I would give you is to stay off your phones. If you don't need to be on your phones, stay off them and only implement that time towards your hustle. If you need to be on your phone, obviously, to make that hustle happen, fine. But uninstall all the other apps that you don't need on that phone, or mute the notifications so you're not distracted by them. That's one thing that will help you optimize your time better. Another way to optimize your time better is to create a schedule for yourself. Figure out where you're free, what part of the day, and how you're going to allocate that time. For example, on Saturday and Sunday, if you do nothing on those days, or if you're just lying in bed till 1, 2 p.m., Figure out a schedule which works for you. Manage your time better, and that will help you get to your goals a lot quicker. Piece of advice number 5 is to find a job which will help you get to your goals quicker. For example, if you want to work in marketing, then find a role as a starter role in marketing, or find somewhere you can do some volunteering as a marketeer. If you want to get into marketing, if that's the only way you can get there, if you need a degree to get that specific role, start off at the very bottom level if you can. Of course, this advice, as I mentioned to you, is for 30, 40, 50-year-olds potentially, or 20-year-olds, but 20-year-olds have more time to play around with voluntary work because 9 times out of 10 they're living with their parents. They can work part-time, maybe help out with bills, but the rest of their time they can be volunteering. Whereas if you're in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, likelihood is you're married, you have kids, you have bigger responsibilities, and that means that you don't have as much time to invest into voluntary work. So if that's not the case, then why not start up your own little side hustle marketing? Why not ask a local business to help them do their marketing if they need it? And then off the back of that, you can create yourself a portfolio. And if there is a job that you want to go for and they require a portfolio, then you have a portfolio. If you need formal qualifications, 9 times out of 10 now, a lot of agencies and companies don't need formal qualifications in marketing. You have 16, 17, 18-year-olds that are able to master social media just by being on the application and learning it. So if you can get yourself into a position where you are learning from these platforms and you can back it up with evidence and portfolios and things like that, then it's easier for you to get those kinds of roles that you're looking for. Piece of advice number 6 is do not chase the money. If you are doing anything in life for money, you are going to quit instantly. Money is not a goal that you should be aspiring to, especially in the beginning, especially when you're starting off. And even though you are a little bit older now, it doesn't matter. Money is not something you should be aspiring towards. You should be figuring out how you're going to get to where you want to be, whether that's your own business or working for someone, and then the money will eventually come. But take this advice with a grain of salt. If you are in it for the money, then don't worry about your goals and aspirations, because that's not what is important to you. Go find a job in something like biotech or one of the other kind of evolving industries which is very new, very fresh, and has a lot of money in it, if that's your thing. But if you are looking for happiness, I promise you money is not where you're going to find it. Piece of advice number 7 is to find like-minded people and try and learn from them. So one thing that I've learned being an artist, being a rapper, is finding people that are like-minded online, finding out what their creative processes are, finding out what inspires them. And that has allowed me to then go back and use and implement some of their techniques as well as my own. So if you can do that, if you can hang around with the like-minded people, you are likely to get to your goals quicker because you motivate one another. You look at someone, you figure out how disciplined they are, and you figure out how motivated they are. That in turn will make you more disciplined and more motivated. But as I said to you, you need to be doing it for the right reasons. So hanging out with people, communicating with people that have similar goals can definitely help you on your way to your hustle or whatever you define as success. Number 8 is finding a life partner who understands your goals, your ambitions, your drive, what makes you tick, what gets you out of bed in the morning. And I say that because if you are with someone that does not understand you, if you are with someone who constantly criticizes you, if you are with someone that is negative towards your goals and aspirations in life, you are only going to live to resent them. And that's not something you need or want when you're trying to achieve your own goals. I got very, very lucky. I found a wife who supports me in everything that I do, and I support her in everything that she does. What we do in our own time, we do for us, and when we're together, and we understand that. So when I have to go away and do stuff, or if I'm in this studio for hours on end, when it's the weekend and we could be spending time together, she understands that I've got something to do. I've got a hustle that I need to implement. Same for her. When she's off doing her own things, I'm not there thinking, why is she not spending time with me? So finding a partner is very, very important. Or finding the right partner is very, very important. Someone who's gonna believe in you and is gonna let you get on with whatever you need to do, but also reassure you that you are on the right path, but also check you as well. If you're doing something stupid or something's not right, or your priorities are shifting towards things that aren't important to you and he or she knows it, then allow them to do that. but that is definitely someone that you need in your life. So find yourself a good partner. Advice number 9 is something I have seen sort of born during the years of COVID and post-COVID, and that is online courses. People trying to sell you a course to get you rich quick. People trying to sell you an ebook to get you to a certain place. Now, don't get me wrong, if it's someone that has a very good reputation online, someone who has millions and millions of followers, someone who has made a lot of money, someone who has created a business from scratch, and they're selling you a course and it's a reasonable price and you think you're going to gain something from it, then by all means invest your money into it if you think it's going to help you. But if it's a newbie that you've never heard of, that has no followers, no one to back them up, no real recommendations, then please don't waste your money, because 9 times out of 10 that person is a fake that only wants your money. Sometimes they can be legit, sometimes, but you need to be careful, because if they haven't got recommendations and they haven't got a lot of people following them and backing up their courses, then it's at your own risk. But if you're following someone who has loads and loads of followers, someone who has evidence to back up what they're saying about their course, then yes, by all means have a look into it and invest, again at your own risk, but it's more likely that they are going to help you than someone who has no reputation and doesn't really know what they're talking about. Advice number 10, this is probably the most important for me, is to change or shift your mindset. If as a 30, 40, 50-year-old, and again, I'm not trying to exclude 20-year-olds and teens, but you guys are good, you got years to go yet. But if you're in your 30s, 40s and 50s and you've got a negative mindset, I'm sorry, but it doesn't matter how hard you work, it doesn't matter how much money you're gonna make or how much hustle you think you have in you. If you are a negative person, you're not gonna get very far. Right now, if you look at yourself and you're waking up every single day and negative about life, negative about where you are, negative about why he or she has got it and you haven't, you need to shift that mindset ASAP, because if you don't do that, you're not going to get very far at all. It doesn't matter how many strides you're making. Whenever you get to the next level, you're going to think, why has he or she got what I need or what I want? And if you can get that out of you now, that poison, that negativity, and you can shift your mindset right now, I promise you that it is better for you and you're likely to get to your goals quicker, because you're not spending any of your time worrying about other people. You're focused on yourself, you're focused on your own drive, and a positive mindset or a growth mindset will allow you to believe in yourself and allow you to learn more and keep learning more and keep striving for yourself and keep helping yourself figure out where you need to go and what you need to do next. A negative mindset or a fixed mindset will always keep you in the same place. Again, it doesn't matter how disciplined you are. If you have a fixed mindset, you will never get to your goals and never get to where you need to be. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If this video brought you any kind of value at all, if you could hit the like button, subscribe and share, it would mean the world to me. As I said, this is the first video on this channel. I have other videos linked in the description box below. I am a rapper, I'm an artist. As I mentioned earlier in the video, you can check out all of my music and things like that there, and other various pages that may or may not help you. If they do, then please hit the subscribe button. If it doesn't help you, then you can not hit subscribe. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I've been Asan. Take care.